Yo, what is good, Bleach community? It is Storm, and I am bringing a Chad guide today. Today I'll be going over just a general breakdown of how to play this character, what to do in neutral, what kind of combos you can do, and how you should just generally play him. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So starting off with Chad's quick attack, Chad has some of the stubbiest normals in this game. As you can see, I'm right in Sunstreet's face, but I'm missing. It's actually pretty abysmal how close you have to be on your opponent, but it's smart. He's a puncher, he's an infighter, so he should be close up on his opponent. But enough about that. This is his quick attack. It's a 4-hit combo. You really want to do the quick attacks to build your reishi gauge, or your super gauge. I don't know if it's reishi or not, but it's that gauge at the bottom that says 150. Light attacks build that fast, but they're also safe on block. So you know, if you did all that work to get close up, you do want to throw out normals to stay safe. You could throw out light into heavies. You can also do the opposite by throwing some heavies into light to make the attack string safe on block. And his grab, this is the other thing about Chad. His grab cannot combo after it. Anytime you get the grab off, it just resets. But there are some cool properties to that I'll touch on in a little bit, where the grab can kind of be useful in certain situations. But yeah, that's Chad's light, heavy, and his grab. So this is his third kind of move here. It's his signature ability, and as you can see, when I press this button, that bar at the bottom builds up, and when you get it all the way up, this man shoots like a wind pressure beam that does so much damage. It's insane. The reason why they kind of based his kit around this is because that attack does so much damage. Now up close it does even more. As you can see, it took like a third of his health, but if I charge this up, right, and then I shoot it, I believe it only takes about, what is it, like 3k? Okay, only 15. Okay, 1500. Okay, and I believe the 3k is up close. So you know, it might feel enticing to want to charge this up. You know, you can sidestep out of it, you can backstep out of it. You can use those side steps and those back steps to avoid people trying to, you know, clip you out of charging it, or using the side steps to dodge certain projectiles and stuff. But you really want to get up close and use this because of how much extra damage it does. This is really what they centered Chad's kit around. His penetration is basically, it kind of reminds me of Little Mac's KO punch that you can charge, kind of, because it's, you know, it's a punch, but also like it does so much damage. And it's also a ranged option. You know, you find yourself getting kind of zoned out, you feel like someone is just cheesing you from far, boom. You know, yeah, you don't take as much as if you were close, but it's cool that Chad has an option where he can kind of act out of it, you know, with these side steps, these back steps, and charge and just kind of shoot out that punch. And the really cool thing about Chad is that he can combo his penetration, and it just takes like half a bar with these combos. So what you can do, right, you can do your lights into the penetration, you can do your heavies into it, you can do a grab into it, and it takes such, you know, such huge amount of damage. It's kind of insane. Look at this, boom. You know, some characters have to work so much just to take that much damage, you know, but Chad just gets that off with just one button press. Look, this is your heavy attacks into it. It's crazy. And you could let this go early and Chad shoots out a shockwave. It doesn't do much damage. As you can see, it's only 150, which it isn't really worth it. It hits twice if it's up close, right? But it's still not worth it. I mean, you want to get that big punch in, you do. The only time I find myself wanting to really throw the shockwave out is, let's say, you know, you're charging up, but you're going against someone who's really rushing you down. These are characters like Yoriichi, Soifan, Grimjaw, and they're not giving you any room to breathe, right? You just throw it out real quick. All right, stay off of me, right? You know, that's another option. But again, you can have, look at the bar at the bottom, you can have this all the way to the top, right, almost to the top. But if you throw this out, you lose it. Oh, sorry, I kind of spent it all there, but let me show you what I mean in a second. You can lose it, and it doesn't do any extra damage. right? And you know, you can do this and you can do this, right? Charge it all the way up and it does the same amount of damage. So it's kind of like, if you're going to use it as like a zone tool, it does kind of feel bad that after you charged it all the way up here, someone's pressuring you a lot and you feel like you need to get them off of you. If you have to spend it, do it, but I wouldn't suggest just throwing this out if you have it, you know, at least halfway to maybe like 75% charge, because you might as well try to just avoid them as much as possible so you can get that huge damage off, right? The huge penetration shot. His other attack is his special flash move. So this is your up triangle attack. It's unsafe on block. I will say it is unsafe. If somebody blocks that, or even look how much, you know, time it took for me to kind of recover out of that attack, they'll be able to punish you. But the interesting thing about this is that it gives Chad a way in, right? He doesn't have any other way to get in other than dashing, but the movement in this game is very slow. So you really just want to kind of like, you don't just want to throw it out, but you can mix it into your, you know, let's say like someone's chasing you, or they're pretty far and they're trying to zone you or something, you know, you can use your side steps to get in, you're dashing, and then you could throw this out to get real close in. Or let's say you Hakugeki them, you can use this to get in close. Again, be wary, because if they block it, you will get punished. But yeah, that's Chad's normals and his abilities. Let's kind of go on to his supers. So Chad's first super is Alerta. It's a buff. It gives him extra damage. So all of your combos, they do more damage in general. That goes for everything. That goes for the punch, especially. But you know, the real cool thing about it, and what you really want to use it for, is to charge up your punch even faster. This makes charging your punch from 0 to 100, it takes 4 seconds. It usually takes about 6, but 4 seconds is crazy, because those extra 2 seconds can really mean a lot between winning and losing sometimes. And if you have the meter to just pop it, you know, get that punch back up there as fast as possible, you're golden. You know, now you have a full screen pressure tool, right? And then you also have a great combo ender that, boom, does so much damage. It's pretty good. Like, so Chad's first super is just all around good, and you can combo into it. The last dope thing that I would mention about Chad's super is that he can combo into it. So you can go light, light, light into super, punch, punch, and then you can start charging up your penetration. And because you're in your alert super, it now charges up way faster. So now you have a 4-second charged up, really strong super move, signature move, that you can use full screen, that you can use the combo, and it even has super armor. So Chad actually ain't too bad in this game. I think Chad is up there. Chad is definitely up there. But yeah, let's go on to his second super. So his second super is just an uppercut. It does have some interesting properties, and it does do some decent damage as well. If Chad is attacked during his super, not only does the super do more damage, but he has super armor. So he kind of wants to get hit because it's going to do more damage, one. And two, it's like, if you feel like somebody's going to attack you, and specifically attack, because the ability specifically says if you get grabbed, right? If they use the breaker attack on you, it is going to break through the super. So if you feel like they are going to attack you, Chad can just do the L2 circle, kind of eat through the attack, and do a really strong punch. You can find yourself using this super in like really tight situations where you feel like, oh, this is like do or die. I have to like do something here. You know, blocking isn't working. I'm getting mixed up a lot. Let me see if I can just throw this out and get a good hit in, right? So that's really cool that Chad has a kind of like get off me super somewhat. You know, if he feels like he's getting pressured too much, he can just throw this out, and it lets him travel pretty far. I mean, I'm a good distance away from Sunshui, and he like dashes in and gets that punch in. I was a little bit off there, but it looks like it's about this distance here where he can get, yeah, it's pretty good of a super. Talk about being safe on block. Chad's dash attack is safe. It may look like it's not an attack that's safe, but it's 100% safe. And let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, I have Sunshui here ready to attack me if he blocks a move. Look at this. I'm safe. Straight up safe off this. Depending, and you know, this is the interesting part about Chad's dash. Depending on when he dashes in, right? Like at what point you choose to do the dash, it gives him more time to kind of recover and make more of a decision. So what I mean by that is, right, if you like sidestep here and do the dash, you have more time to react. As you can see, Chad got back up real quick and I was able to block or kind of like make more of a decision there. But if I do something like this, right, it takes a while for me to get up. Yes, I'm still safe, but if Sunshui tries to go for a grab, or if he tries to just attack, he's just going to generally be faster than me, right? But if I do something like this, right, if I choose to, you know, dash forward and then do that, or maybe from about this distance, it's not as bad. Yeah, that was still close, but maybe something like, no, I meant to do the side step. Maybe something from like here. You see, it's like at the end of the animation of the attack, you still get the attack off, but you have more time to kind of recover from it, right? So maybe something like this, more time to recover. Of course, you're still safe regardless, but again, those little milliseconds, they add up. They add up in these kind of games. Do my dash forward, right? My dash attack. I can't combo. That doesn't combo. If it comboed, it would say 2, but it doesn't. Like how that says 2 hits on the left. But if I time the dash in where it hits right at the end of the hitbox, it becomes a full combo. So what I mean by that is if I do something like this, right? You see how the first light attack kind of connects, but if I were to dash forward, it doesn't. It's because Chad at the end of his dash, he recovers faster from the dash attack, which lets him get a combo off. Whereas if I do something like this, right? Let me see. I can now combo. Well, that one wasn't close enough. That one was too close. But if I do this, you see the timing is so, not the timing, the spacing is so specific. Right there, it didn't work. But maybe if I do something like that, see, oh, it's gonna work there. Yep. But it makes Chad harder to play in general because it's like, okay, if I choose to not play him, right? If I choose to not play him in that way, right? If I, you know, I don't feel comfortable throwing the dash attacks out, it is safe, right? But a lot of people like to just mash. So right after they do that, they might either freeze up and they'll block or they'll attack. Depending on where the dash ends, it really changes how you want to play Chad. And just in that moment, yeah. But if you're using Chad correctly and you're charging up your penetration and you're using the dashes a lot, and in between charging, you're dashing in, dashing out, you know, sidestepping, dashing in, using dash attacks, that's really how you want to play him. He's a very movement heavy based infighter who has a long range ability to just, you know, pop off, do some quick damage if he need to. Use that charged up ability to apply pressure. They feel like they need to approach you, right? You're charging up, you know, one of the strongest special moves in the game, and he can kind of use that to his advantage. Unfortunately, he can't combo after his grab, right? So one of his infighting tools where he wants to get in close, kind of mix a grab in here and there, he can only get the punch off, which is a good payoff. But again, now you're back at square one, sorry. And you kind of got to do your whole game plan over. But hey, that's just Chad. And yeah, basically, let's go on to his evolution. So Chad gets his second arm. I wish something changed in his evolution, but unfortunately it doesn't. He just gets kind of cool aura points for doing it. My son got all the aura in the world. But he even gets the electricity. He got the electricity going through him. That's crazy. My son is Super Saiyan 2 Chad. But yeah, unfortunately nothing really changes for him. He gets more damage on his moves, but I can't say that he charges. It's not like he charges faster, right? It would be cool if he did. He changes his stance, so I thought something would have changed, but Chad is just the same old character in his evolution. Though, like most characters in this game, you want to kind of get into your evolution as fast as possible, because once you get into sublimation mode or once you get into spirit drive, you'll start taking more Kompaku and you'll start doing more damage in Spirit Drive. So you really want to just kind of evolve with him. Don't really hold it. If you feel like you need to hold it to break a combo, you know, you can always use it for that. But other than that, Chad doesn't really change too much. He just gets a damage buff, which is another reason why you want to, you know, build that that evolution gauge and kind of get into his second arm form as fast as possible. But I really wish they gave him like a second, you know, second ability or something in his evolution. His heavy attack does change somewhat. I mean, it's still unsafe on block, but it kind of changes the animation and he does more damage, but that's just in general. But yeah, that's Chad. That's generally how you can play Chad. All right, so now let's touch on his combos. So Chad's combos are pretty short. If he has his penetration shot, he can do some pretty cool stuff. You know, he can end off combos with the penetration shot, right? You have regular Hakugeki combos. You have something like this where you can do the punch at the end. Does so much damage, but again, he's limited if he doesn't have the punch. If he does, you know, he can end off stuff like that. But then if he doesn't, you have the typical flash step combos. You can't really combo after your grab unless you have the penetration shot. You can combo into your super, so you can do punch, punch, punch into your thing, and then, you know, continue it from there. I dropped that, but I can show it here. I just need the buff to go away. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really all you can do. Again, your alerter form does give you more damage, and it lets you charge your punch even faster. So if you have the meter, you know, I definitely would do it. You can't, unfortunately, you can combo into your super, your 100 SP super. It's really there just for you to kind of like take a hit and then to really dish it back out. But yeah, that's Chad's combos. He really doesn't have much. So Chad does have some cancel combos. You can use them at your own discretion, but I don't feel like they're too worth it because, you know, his strings aren't too long. But you could then cancel this, you know, do the punches again into Hakugeki, into the flash. If you have your penetration, sorry, if you have your penetration, you could do the similar variation of that, but you just add the punch in at the end. So you would super cancel, you do the heavy attack again, 2, 3. That does a lot of damage. Actually, if the computer, right, if the person you're going against, their health is, I would say probably about 70, right? If their health is at like 70, maybe even 80, right? So the combo could look something like light, light, light into super, cancel, heavy, heavy, heavy. Then you can teleport, right? So you can do heavy, heavy, heavy into punch, and that just soul breaks them. That's an instant 5 Kompaku right there if you're in evolution. But yeah, that's just, you know, if they're like at 70% health, you can just straight up touch a death them, boom. that's really, really, really good. But that's really the most optimal combo you can do with Chad. He does have some other kind of cool like setups you can do with the dash attack. Let's say you do like heavy, heavy, heavy into Hakugeki. You can dash forward and do the dash attack, and you're at the end of the dash attack where you have more time to kind of like move and, you know, just do whatever you want. So again, that will look something like heavy, heavy, heavy into Hakugeki, dash forward into dash attack. You can then go into, you know, if you get the hit, then you can combo, right? But then if you don't, if you don't get the hit, you can go into a grab, or you can like block, kind of just do whatever you want from there. But yeah, that's just generally the breakdown for Chad. Very interesting character, infighter, but also kind of wants to play distance at times. And I think they did very good with him. I think his kit like definitely embodies the character. and when I'm playing him, it feels like I'm actually playing with Chad. So yeah, but thank you guys for just kind of sticking around for the video. I will post some gameplay of just some Chad gameplay with me and my boy, and just really like showcasing some of the stuff that I talked about in this video. So but yeah, thanks for getting here, and hope you appreciate the gameplay. Peace out.